Hey guys, what's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you, Clayton?
Nothing, man. Just finishing setting up here, making sure we got everything. It has been a mad dash to the finish.
Yeah.
Actually, my partner's not even here yet. Andy, are you out there? We started.
Started without you.
We're ready to go. Pretty much, more or less.
I meant to take this lamp down, so there was not a big shadow up here. So.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Don't let me bother you.
Okay. So, if you guys watched on Wednesday, we did the, what was it, Suburban Hobo?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep.
So, this is the third and final bag in this purse pattern pack, or in this series. There's 3 different bags. The Suburban Hobo, the, what's the next? What was
Midtown
it? Midtown Bucket. And now we're doing the divided shopper bag. There's Andy. Well done. I've actually never made this bag before. Fun story. I've done the Suburban Hobo before, the one we did on Wednesday, and I think I did the Midtown Bucket. Andy had done that one on the last video. But this one is a little bit different, right? So it is another soft-sided purse. It does have a couple pieces of stiffener in it to act as a divider and a bottom reinforcement. And it's got a few more steps. Whenever I agreed to do this, I didn't realize that these instructions had about 66 different steps in them. So this is going to be a bit much. The bag really isn't that complicated. The instructions are just made very wordy and long. They were done 9 or 10 years ago. So we're going to jump right into it. So we are going to embellish this one a little bit more than what the instructions call for. Of course, you can do that with any pattern you got just to make it fit you or make it a little bit classier or fit your market that you're going for. So what we did is on the front, Melissa helped us out. And she cut some nice fringy front panels. The fringe works so well for the Suburban Hobo. We're going to see if it does the same thing for the Midtown or the divided shopper.
You got some other conchos and stuff on there too.
Exactly. We did antique copper and turquoise embellishments there on the front. We've got some spots and some turquoise rivets and then our concho. So we are going to have to modify just a hair. So typically, what's the first step in the instructions here? We're going to start with the handles.
Cut out your pieces from your pattern.
Cut out your pieces. We spared you guys the boring process of cutting out all of our pieces. So next, we're going to move on to the handles. So these have a rolled handle construction, or folded rather. And so we got our 2 strips that we cut out from the pattern pack, and I've got these split down to about, maybe 2 3/4, 3 ounce. Got a gauge over there? So that we can test my ass. See if I'm correct? Yeah.
It's right at 3.
Right at 3? I'm sure there's a spot of 2 3/4 in there somewhere. Alright, so we'll go ahead and spread glue on both of these pieces, and then we're going to mark a line down the center, and we'll fold each edge right into the center.
Are you doing an embellishment with that piece?
That'll be put on after.
Okay.
We'll probably do that like last.
Okay.
So yeah, Andy, if you want to start spreading glue on those 2. I'm going to continue on. So most of the first 10 steps is having to do with skiving your edges on all the pattern pieces that you need after you get them cut out, and then rolling edges. So we got the handles going. The next set of instructions is going to tell you to skive all 4 edges on your interior pocket. We call it a cell phone pocket. I ran around it with a bell knife about a 1/2 inch. And then same thing for the interior zipper pocket. We ran all the way around all 4 edges so we can easily fold the edges on those. Let's see, what else do we do it on? The tops of the gussets. So we've got our 2 main gusset pieces here. I split those down to about 3/4 ounce. And again, I've bell knifed across the tops of those. And then you've got a couple other gusset pieces. We've got strips here. This is gusset part C. These are strips that will actually go around gusset part B. And you bell knife across the top of one end of each of these so that these can easily be rolled. And then same thing with, this is going to be the finish edging on the exterior of the bag. So, and then the last bell kniving that you'll do, typically in your pattern, is you're going to go through and you're going to bell knife a 1/2 inch in on either sides of the main body, and that will allow you to do a nice 1/4 inch rolled edge right there. Since we're modifying this a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit short. I'm probably going to cut off about a 1/2 inch total on the length of this bag, And then that is going to compensate for what would normally be a rolled edge. We're going to stick these over the top of it, and those are actually going to roll over and kind of cap the edge of the main body. You'll see what I mean here in a second.
Hey, Clayton.
Yeah.
I called you Liz because I'm used to yelling at Liz across the room. But guess who I talked to this morning?
Liz?
You got it!
Yeah.
Wow, how did you ever guess?
I've already talked to her once as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's always got something going on with a customer that she's going to get me to deal with. Or
Plus, I think she likes talking.
she's probably getting plenty of that right now down at WISA.
Yeah, we talked to them and checked to see if we could zoom them in. I think we're going to be able to zoom them in.
Really? To this?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, sounds like you're really excited about it.
Can't get away from her. Not even when she's out of town. She still has the host. Oh, that'll be cool. I bet they're having a good time down there. I went to the WISA show probably 4 years ago or so when I was still in Denver. And it's pretty cool. There is a ton of vendors out there and lots of stuff to learn everywhere you go. Alright, so this is going to overlay, I'm going to overlay this about 3/8 of an inch so that I got plenty of room to fold over. So I'm going to mark a line with my wing dividers. And this will serve as a guide to make sure I get it placed on there evenly all the way across. Or, you know, what I could use would be our 3/8 inch basting tape, because we do have that, do we not?
Might have some behind you. I think we got all the sizes here. Clayton, the Angelus gloves that we had for a while.
Yeah, the black Angelus gloves.
I think they are struggling on getting them at the moment. If they ever get them, and then we will restock them. Do you know any other information on that?
I don't have any other information as far as the availability, no.
Yeah.
Ever since the pandemic, I think those gloves have been a little bit harder to come by.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lay down a line of 3/8 tape, and then I will line up the top of my main bag body with the bottom of that tape here in a moment. I am also going to glue the edges down because I really want to make sure these edges stick down very well. And contact cement is a good way of doing that. So what I'll do is I will mark a space. How far down I need to glue.
I don't know if I can see what you're doing over there because you're kind of off the camera.
Off camera a little bit.
I'm missing the camera today because Liz took one with her.
So basically I'm just laying this over. This is going to overlap 3/8 of an inch. I'm just making a mark down here where I can stop gluing because I want these edges of the main body and this front panel to bind really well.
Can you turn that off?
Do that side, we'll do this side as well. I asked Liz the other day, when she was still here, what she was hoping to get out of going to WISA.
Mm-hmm. A trip to warmer weather?
Right? She said she wants to go down there and find us some more hardware to offer, which would be great. Some cool hardware. Hopefully she's on the lookout for that.
Yeah, when I heard from Chad, he said they're at the Barry King booth at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's a cool stop.
Anything that makes the Angelus gloves different than other gloves?
They're black, which is cool. I can tell you that. Not to my knowledge. I mean, not as far as making it different than a comparable disposable glove.
Are they nitrile or latex? Or nylon?
I think they're nitrile.
They may be a little bit thicker as well.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight. Give them different thicknesses.
Yeah. So let's do a second line of tape here so make sure it sticks across the top.
More Western style buckle sets would be cool.
Absolutely. More buckle sets. We're trying to, me and Liz have really wanted to expand our hardware line and make sure we have lots of different size pieces of hardware in the same finish. That's kind of been a big deal for us.
Agreed.
Trying to fill that out. So I guess I didn't mention what leather we're using here. Melissa had pulled, we were trying to come up with good color combinations yesterday. And Melissa helped us out by picking these leathers out. So we went with our premium heavy chap. I think this is in the mahogany color. So it comes in, I think, a 5 to 6 ounce. It's a chrome tan upholstery type leather. Really nice soft hand. A little bit thicker than most of your upholstery leathers. And it's got kind of a waxy feel on the front. A nice smooth waxy feel. And then the red, or the accent color here, is going to be our Venetian, and I think it's in the wine color. And that comes in a 2 to 3 ounces, so we're able to just leave that at full weight.
W. Bradburn, you did pronounce WISA or type WISA correctly. So Western and English Saddle Association, or is that right?
I think so.
So it's a Western and English kind of saddle and tack show where we shop our leather from our vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Boots, chap makers are there. Everybody just sourcing their leather for the year.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they do buy quite a bit of inventory out there every year. And it's a good opportunity just for us to be able to interface with our vendors and sit down and, you know, be people for a second.
Yeah.
And not just random emails. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. And so I'm going to take my main body and actually stick it down to this so that I can make sure and line it up straight.
There you go, working off the camera again.
Come on now. Liz is always there to push or pull me back.
Let's see if I can get them on.
You gonna be able to do the picture-in-picture for us?
I'm going to put them on that third screen.
Nice.
If it works right.
If you can pull it off.
I'm pretty talented sometimes. And then sometimes I'm not. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You never know unless you try, Clayton.
That's kind of what we're doing here today. We're trying it.
Yeah.
And we're even trying to modify the pattern first, you know, before even
Yeah, don't be wandering off over there.
attempting it. I think this will be fine. That's going to look good.
Yeah, right there is about the middle. If you stay right there and do all your working right there.
Well, I got to stand so close to Andy. It's just weird.
I can move over.
He understands.
Alright, let's see if we can.
See if we can patch them in here.
Are those silver pens made to be in a pin body? I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah, you can usually find one of your regular ballpoint pen and just switch out the the ink. I mean, honestly, we use them so much and go through them so quickly. Or I lose pins so much, I just have a few of them in my pouch.
All right, we're not. I don't know if Chad can hear us, but I haven't gone to him yet. I'm just making sure that we can get him in there first.
We're really working remotely here today.
Yeah. Can you see him?
Hopefully they haven't started drinking yet.
Yep.
They are.
All right, let's see.
Going up the escalator, nice. A bit of a lag.
I'm moving him over here.
This might be too distracting here.
You just keep working. We'll get them moved in here. They kind of froze on us.
Alright, so we got our main body done. Effectively rolled the two short edges on our main body piece. Panel A, as in the pattern. And so we're going to go ahead and Andy went through and taped the 4 edges of each of these pockets for me. These are the interior pockets. And so we're going to go ahead and roll all 4 edges on these.
Alright, I think I can hear them. Kind of keeps freezing. So I can go with a little bit of the stuff that we know about it. They're in a 16-story building,
Good Lord.
and 6 of the floors are taken up with the WISA show.
Wow. Yeah, it's a pretty big show. That's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Or escalators.
And we're escalators, yeah.
Looks like there's an info desk that's there.
That's pretty cool.
It'd be cooler if we weren't frozen.
Yeah, it's probably that thing going
Yeah.
concrete.
Oh, there they went. Disconnected. We'll see if they try to reconnect.
Alright, so on the pattern, this is how it instructs you to do it, is go around and roll all 4 edges and pinch the corners up like this, like I've got them here, and then we're going to go back and trim those off.
That just makes sure that you have your leather all the way pushed to the corner.
What?
Does it just make sure that you have your leather all the way pushed to the corner? Or...
Right, then you've got a rolled edge all the way up into the corner.
Oh, they're back.
We're not giving up yet.
Mm-mm.
This is going to be the Clayton and Andy show.
Well, it may be. I wonder if Chad can get on the Wi-Fi there.
Do we have a roller in here?
I brought one.
Yep.
You can use that
There you go,
one.
bud.
We have that roller.
I found it.
Cool.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
That's awful.
Are you over there? Did you glue some mice in your leather there, Andy?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're all screaming. A little machine oil on that, huh?
Something. Don't check this. There's not going to be any. Chad needs to take his tinfoil hat so we can get better connection. Adjust the rabbit ears. Did you know the first escalator was built as an amusement ride?
What?
That's what Michael Seeger said.
No kidding.
The more you know.
Well, they still kind of are.
Do you
I'm
know what-
amused.
The hobo pattern thing updated. Are we gonna? We know when those are gonna be done. Most of it's just art that's being updated. The instructions are fine. The pattern's good. It's just visual the visual appearance.
It needs to go with the brand guidelines. That's the only thing.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with it.
No, the pattern's a little lengthy, and so I mean, we could certainly improve on just about everything. But it's you know, the pattern works just fine, and we kind of did the video as a supplementary guide if you're going to try and attempt it. Should make it a lot simpler for many folk. A lot of visual learners out there. What you working on there? What's
I
next?
was looking for the gussets.
The gussets? I got them over here on the far side.
That's the next step. Basting tape.
So lots of rolled edges on this bag. Again, like even these rolled edges, that's not 100% necessary to do for the pattern. This is just for aesthetics. And if you don't have a handy dandy bell knife skiver laying around, this would this may be something to reconsider on these rolled edges. Unless you're just that good with a skiving knife.
Maybe we are.
But yeah, most of it you can do, I mean, without rolling these edges. In some areas you will have to compensate for the overall length. Like on the main body, if you don't want to roll the top edges and you just want to bind them or just leave raw edges, then you will have to cut down the overall length by a ½ inch. There we go, nice and clean looking. So, go ahead, I see we're up to diagram 15, step 7 or 8. I'm going to go ahead and place some basting tape around our zipper opening for our interior pocket. Oh no, look at that. Andy already put it on our zipper tape itself. I'll straighten that out a little bit and that should be good. Actually, I don't know if that's going to work, Andy. We got a narrow zipper here that that Melissa grabbed us, and so if that 1/4 inch is fully on there, oh no, you won't see it. We'll be good. So let's go ahead and stick that down. Did any questions or anything so far there, Tony?
No.
Good. I didn't want any. Alright.
The internet in their building where they're at is not very good.
What?
How come we did a white one just so we can see what's going on?
White zipper?
tape?
Oh, you'll see. It's going to match the fabric lining.
Okay.
So unlike the last couple bags we did, this divided shopper bag does call for a fabric lining. And so with our somewhat limited selection of fabrics we have here, you know, we have all the options. But we ended up finding a nice red paisley print that we're going to go with.
That's cool.
Make it kind of Western themed.
Lil Flair has a question for you, Clayton. If you had a 1/4 inch seam allowance, would you use 1/8 inch basting tape?
With a full 1/4 inch seam allowance, you can be careful, and I mean you can use 1/4 inch basting tape. It really depends on where you're doing it. You know, if you're concerned about any of the tape showing, if you're doing like a turned out seam, turning your bag inside out,
Yeah.
you can still get away with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and 1/4 inch basting tape.
Using a 1/4 inch on a 1/4 inch like that, it helps so you know how far to fold over unless you mark your line.
Alright, so we got our zipper stuck down in there. And I think the next few steps are going to be putting on the tabs like he's doing here. And then we're going to be running through and sewing several of these rolled edges. So we're going to sew down the handles, we're going to sew down the tops of some of these gussets. And I think we also Just double check here, make sure we're not gonna go in the right order. Yeah, Gusset C. So it's gonna be the thinnest strips that the pattern that is on the pattern. These are the part C, and these are going to attach to Gusset B. That's eventually. We're gonna roll these over too. Borrow your 1/4 inch basting tape and snips.
Plastic zipper. A plastic dress zipper. I know it's plastic. I guess you could put it in a dress.
This is a nylon, yeah, and it is a narrow zipper tape, so it's pretty close to kind of what you would almost find. Not quite as small as what you'd find in some dresses. At least the zippers in my dresses are usually smaller.
Yeah, me too. Samesies. Chad is restarting his phone.
Nice.
Oh man.
Is he using an Apple product?
Nope. So you just slammed your own. Product there, Andy, and didn't even realize it.
It must be a Samsung then.
I think it is.
Across the top of that,
You got
we'll go like
dry
this.
That roller is waking up my birds.
I'm just going to go ahead and mark a stitch line around this thing. Better safe than sorry. If you take your time and mark your stitch line, make sure you stay on it, you usually come out with a much nicer product. Okay, so we're going to sew across one edge of the cell phone pocket, it calls. Both of the tops of the gussets that we rolled. We're going to sew across this short edge on the Gusset C part. And what else do we got? Was that it as far as stitching for now? Oh, and the handles. We're going to stitch up and down the handles. So let's head on over here and we'll do that. Oh, there you go. Cut the ends of the handles, give it a nice rounded appearance. Now we're going to grab Liz's perch that she left behind over here.
What weight of thread are you using?
So we decided to go with 138 top and bottom on this class 26. It's our regular 138 brown bonded nylon machine thread.
Now you might want to do a test piece. Tommy put that thread in there last.
Tommy, huh? That's all I had to say. Use a hair more time.
Did you figure out that what your looping issue was last time?
Looping issue. Oh, we had some random loops on the top thread, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I actually adjusted the top tension a little bit.
Yeah.
Tightened it up, and then I read something else the other day about the presser foot pressure might possibly being too loose. So we're going to sew one edge of this square, which is going to make the top of our pocket. Let's make that the top right there. And so anytime I'm sewing a rolled edge down, I like to kind of put it on the machine up against the guide first to make sure that I'm going to hit it where I want it. Rolled edge on the back.
What's your stitch length?
I'll tell you what, our knob is actually not adjusted correctly on this 26 because we're off the scale right now.
Right.
But my stitch length, it's probably about 8 stitches per inch. Maybe 7. So fairly short right now. Whenever we start doing some of the stitching on the exterior, I might bump it up a bit, or stitches around the gusset. If they're too short, it'll tend to perforate the leather more than I like, and increase the chance of it tearing out.
How does it get off the scale?
So the little plastic knob that adjusts the stitch length,
Well, I got that part, but how does that happen? I guess.
it just wasn't put on correctly.
Sweet.
It needs to be unscrewed and stuck on there correctly again.
Hey Keith. Keith said hello to everybody.
Hey Keith.
We had a lot of hellos from people.
All right.
Let's see. Idaho Cowgirl does a double-sided sticky tape gum up your sewing machine. I know I get plenty of glue residue on my hands when stitching with it.
No, it's pretty good about holding on to its adhesive, so it usually doesn't stick to the needle too much. The biggest culprit I've had with gumming up a sewing machine is something like Neo Weld cement. That will, if you've got an excess of it in the seam. Or even latex cement can, if it hasn't cured properly. But no, I haven't had any issues with basting tape doing that, or double-sided tape.
Andrea, did you get the answer for did we fix the skipping issue? Now around the zipper.
Around the zipper. I think I'm going to try and start offset from the center a little bit. That way hopefully my lock stitch will end up centered. One thing here, anytime you're stitching around a zipper, to keep your tab from interfering with your walking foot, just go ahead and stop with your needle in the leather, lift up, and zip that bad boy back out of it. What do we got going next after this, Andy?
I'm currently working on the fabric lining, marking where our bag stiffener goes, and cleaning off the spray adhesive nozzle so it actually sprays.
Alright, so the pattern calls for 2 pieces of bag stiffener. We're using some of the Bontex that we carry, which is just like a really heavy cardstock paper product. And so once you cut those out, they're going to get spray adhesive to, one piece goes in the liner to form a divider in the middle of the bag. Hence the name divided chopper. And then the other piece is actually going to be a bottom stiffener for the bag. It'll go between the fabric liner and the leather main bone.
to fix our issue, it wasn't really a skipping, it was just the top loop was loose.
Correct.
So Clayton said that he tightened the top tension just a little bit. And then did you add a little more pressure to the presser foot?
I did, and then also a little more pressure to the presser foot, and then also always check your bobbin as well. That can be a symptom of having a bobbin that was wound too loosely.
How do you check the pressure or change the pressure on your presser foot?
I believe it's this up here, correct? Andy's got a 26.
Yes.
So this will actually change the pressure that your presser foot is putting down on the project. We're actually going to do a video here. We're going to do a pre-recorded video on adjusting tension on machines, correct?
That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard. You're just the video guy.
I think there's two different ways to adjust, because I'm not sure how to adjust the other one because I've never messed with it, but you can raise your overall height of both top feet.
Yeah.
So if you're doing really thick leather, it could not even be touching the bottom of your sewing machine. It could be elevated a little bit.
Right.
What's everybody's plans for the weekend? The chat. The chat, not.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Is there a needle that you can get to make your stitch more like a French stitching? The question was about a twisted leather needle.
The answer is yes, but we don't have them yet.
We don't carry them at the moment?
They're, instead of diamond point, they're like a diamond chisel. So they're, instead of a straight hole, it's actually slightly slanted.
Yeah.
On the heavy stitcher, I know if you hold your leather at a really hard angle to the roller guide and it's having to constantly pull it into the roller guide, it'll kind of give the same effect.
Is that like holding your mouth right?
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, that's awful.
Yeah, that roller.
What'd you do here, Andy?
All right, so here's our lining here. I folded it over, marked our center.
So the pattern I believe has you cut it to 12 inches wide by 52 inches long, which is roughly, it's going to be the width of some of your bolts of fabric.
As you mark your center, then you mark where your edges of your bag stiffener will go. And then you spray one side of your stiffener lay it down, make sure you don't get any little air pockets in there.
What'd you spray it with?
3M Super 77.
Yep. So pretty basic spray adhesive. You can find that stuff at Walmart.
Yep. David's building fishing rods, and Charles Abbott's going to go fishing and then pound some leather.
Nice.
Watching it snow 8 to 12 inches.
I
No.
think my plans are gotten snowed out. It's supposed to snow a couple inches Saturday.
Supposed to be, I looked it up, it was 1 to 3 inches. of snow.
I was supposed to go coon hunting this weekend up in Lebanon. Yeah.
Also,
Andy, any idea to where to get needles like that?
If I order needles personally, I always go to wawak.com because they have just about the biggest selection of every type of needle, from industrial to regular sewing machine, and different brands.
Can you spell it?
W-A-W-A-K, I'm pretty sure. Wawak.
So we're going to spray the other side of this, correct?
Yes, and then trying not to get it on everything else.
Absolutely everything, yeah.
It looks like they have stickers too.
There's one thing about the spray adhesive, man, is you can't avoid it. Overspray. You feel
It even gets on your arm hairs.
You feel it on your arm every time.
You spray enough of it, you get it in your nose and you don't wear a mask.
I guess it doesn't matter if it's on that side.
It's hot in here.
Wow,
Bright
I need to
lights.
turn the camera off so we don't watch you undressed like
No, you're good. I'll keep it decent. Woo.
Why let it snow ruin your hunt, Clayton?
Well, the hunt was called off. I wouldn't normally. It'd be fun to go out hunting in the snow, but it's actually an organized hunt out in Lebanon.
Heck, I was on the river last week when it snowed.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You crazy.
It was great.
Crazy.
No, you're out camping on the 11th. Right?
Yep.
You crazy.
Whittling sticks and whatnot.
Yep, whittling sticks. Burning things.
Boy stuff.
Boy stuff, yeah. Trapping. We might not
Get
talk
all that
about
boy
that.
stuff done.
You want to start that?
Glad you got it done.
Well, better you than me. Clayton and I were out comparing the size of zipper in our dresses.
I forgot about that.
Not again. Andy!
Alright.
Alright, so now we have our center divider stiffener housed in our fabric liner. How exciting is that, guys?
It was noisy.
That was noisy.
Noisy.
Alright, got that. We're good. So now we're going to move on to the bag bottom. We're going to put the bottom stiffener in. So we'll get back to our main body, leather piece A, which we've got over here. So we're going to measure out the center of this piece. I need a longer ruler. Got 36 over here.
Just do it the easy way. The cheating way.
The cheating way. I like math, Andy. Come on. Silver pen. You'll be able to see it. That'll work.
Baby.
A little clearer so we can see it on camera there. There we go.
Got every tool on the planet and can't afford a roller. We got a roller, we just have a noisy one.
Yeah, it works just fine.
Yeah.
I've used that sucker for years.
Obviously.
That's its problem.
Somebody need to make some with some bearings in them.
Oh yeah. Isn't your chair on roller skating wheels or something?
Oh yeah.
Rollerblade wheels?
Alright, so this is the piece that the pattern calls to be cut out of bag stiffener. Again, we're just using our bond text, and I made a center mark on either side. And then I believe it calls to measure in 1 1/4 inches from each side to make sure that it's centered left to right. Go ahead and get that sticky for me. Perfect. Ooh, yeah, I think you got enough on there. That'll stick.
Complain about Liz's gluing, complaining about Andy's gluing.
I'm not complaining.
It sound like you weren't.
Let's see.
It's a double negative.
And you sprayed adhesive the side that I didn't mark, so, or that I did mark, so I won't be able to see it. Now I'm complaining.
It's my fault.
Thank you, Andy. Alright, so it looks like it's just going to cover my 1¼ inch marks. I'm going to line up the center. Stick it down. I'm just going to use my hands so we don't have to use the roller. It should be stuck down nice. That should be good. Alright, so where are we going from here? Alright, so it looks like we're putting the fabric liner down. That's exciting. So this fabric liner was designed and the instructions tell you to cut it plenty long. So we're going to have lots of excess that hang over and we're going to end up trimming it back and then rolling the edge. So I believe we're going to place basting tape around 3 edges of one side or 1/2 of this main body. And I'm probably going to go with something a little bit wider. What do the instructions call for? The instructions are going to call for basting tape, quarter inch basting tape. I don't see why we can't use a little bit wider basting tape just to make sure it stays down. We've got 3/8 over here, 1/2 inch, that'll work. So let's do that. And so whenever you're applying tape to this edge up here at the top, you're going to want to stay away from the edge a little bit, and that way after you stitch it you're not going to see any basting tape in the seam.
Yeah, once you get that tape, I'll look at the overhead. Just on those rolled edges?
Correct.
Okay.
On the raw edges you go right up to the edge. Alright, so now the way this goes is we're going to stick down 1/2 at a time. So it'll probably be easiest just to go ahead and apply basting tape to the other side as well. But you're only going to be doing 1/2 at a time, and that's going to make it a lot easier to keep from getting any kind of wrinkles or in the liner.
And wait, skipping ahead a few steps, we don't want to stick it down fully if we're going to sew the pocket still, right? Otherwise you're going to have to sew all the way through.
You will, yeah, I believe in the instructions they tell you to stick it down and then you'll place your pockets and then you'll have to kind of peel it back. Yeah. So yeah, not fully stick it down. But the reason it has you stick it down is because the way the pattern was done, you have to cut the fabric long and then trim it back to the final length. And in that case you're not going to, if you tried to sew the pockets onto your liner now, then you wouldn't know the exact placement where they're going to end up in the bag. All right. So what I would likely do,
mark center line.
Center line, got it. Borrow your pen there. So we'll mark center going this way. And this way. Very center of the bag. 5 1/2, 5 pickets. And now what are you marking there?
I'm just kind of marking center. Make it a little easier for you to line up.
Alright, you got this part, Andy?
Oh, we'll see.
So we've applied basting tape to 3 sides of the bag. Do not remove the paper from the basting tape yet. Fold the fabric back and align center divider to the center line on the bag bottom. Lay divider H down on the bag without basting tape. After removing backing from basting tape, carefully lay fabric to the basting tape, keeping the edges aligned with the edge of the bag. Alright. I think we got a handle on this, huh?
Without removing the taping.
So we've got this laid out. Basically, it has you lay it down first and then remove the tape and then stick it down. Right? And that way it should be an easier way to keep from getting any wrinkles and keeping it all aligned. So we're going to kind of fold this up a little bit and remove one side. We'll do the same thing for this side. And then the same thing for the top. So then we have one side that is stuck down. And then we'll do the same thing for this side, I believe.
And you mark the pockets and pull back out?
Yep. Which this is a fine way to do it if you're only making 1 or 2 of these bags. I would think if it were me and I were going to make these bags continuously, you know, if I were selling them or something, I would probably figure out the total measurement of the fabric liner and then cut it to the precise length that you need. But doing that math and compensating for the center divider that goes in it and doing it all in one piece, this is just kind of an easy way to do it to make sure everything's covered. Alright, so now from here we're going to flip it over and we are going to trim our fabric liner. So in the instructions it calls to trim it off 3/4 inch past this top edge. So we'll go ahead and mark 3/4 inch and get it cut off there.
What do you want to try? No, never mind.
What?
Oh, never mind. Ignore me.
And then I brought a rotary cutter. Always good to make sure you get a nice fresh blade on there. So never got them back from WISA?
No, they went to a meeting, I guess.
Went into a meeting, huh? That sounds important. Alright, here I'm going to apply a 1/2 inch line of basting tape across this. I'm actually going to lay it down right along that rolled edge, right? So actually a little bit away from the edge of the fabric liner. And what we're doing is we're going to roll the edge of the fabric liner and it's going to meet flush with the rolled edge of this main body on the leather. And we're out of 1/2 inch. So we're going to switch to 3/8.
Hey Jeff. Wayne. Not Jeff Wayne, but Jeff and Wayne.
Alright, can you tackle that side? So you're going to just peel it up a little bit from the leather and then we're going to have to roll it under. This is probably one of the kind of my least favorite part in this process, is having to peel this back and then lay it back down. And so you're just going to want to fold it right on the edge of that basting tape.
Like a lot of precision movements.
That's right.
Heavy concentration.
Alright, so now we got it stuck back down. We can go ahead and trim the edges of this fabric off from the sides. You got it, buddy. Don't get our fringe.
Why don't you come over to the middle there?
Alright, let me see where we're at. Got that done, that's good. So we're going to place our pockets. Do all that good stuff.
You gonna try to knock it all out in one?
We're going to try. What time is it?
57.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, I guess I should leave that open so I know the measurements. Chat's kind of quiet right now. No more questions? Nothing? I gotta have something to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Something. We decided to go with copper color hardware on this bag, which is a little bit of a challenge given our selection, but I think we made it work. Instead of D-rings for the strap hangers, we ended up going with these rope round rings, which have a nice copper finish on them. He's already got the D-ring, the hangers on there. What else? So we're ready to place the pockets?
Yep.
Awesome. So from the back of the bag, or whatever's going to be the back side, we're going to put the zipper pocket. And per the instructions, we're going to center it, I believe, about 1 inch down from the edge. There it is. Zipper pocket. 1.5 inches in from the sides, 1.5 inches down from the bottom. Okay. So we'll make a reference mark. Say this is the back of the bag, or it'll be the back panel. Go 1.5 inches down. And then it's going to be 1.5 inches in from each side. And so the reference marks I make are just inside of the noted measurement. So I'll actually mark it on the inside of 1.5 inches. That way, ideally, my pockets are going to cover these reference marks. And I already lost that one wherever it went.
You said heavy chap, right? Leather.
Yep, this is our premium heavy chap line.
And then on the fringe part, what do we use for that? Just a different.
The fringe is that is our wine Venetian, actually.
Wine Venetian.
Correct.
And premium heavy chap.
So we're going to have to apply another round of 1/4 inch basting tape around these guys. Make sure my threads are burned here.
Chevy says he's just working. Working and watching.
Just working.
quiet.
We're quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're busy working as well.
There's too much thinking going on.
We don't have
Is this pattern that complex, guys?
It's not that bad. When you're trying to like get it all done within like an hour, 2
Yeah,
hours.
that's true. That's true. I mean, you got two of you.
We got no time for games.
No time for no games. Don't give me none of that.
You still have a lighter? Yeah.
I noticed your super cool mug there with a little lid,
Yeah.
a little heat lid.
Heat lid.
Heat lid.
I had brought it in Wednesday to show Liz up in the video, but
It wasn't heat.
it's quite large.
Yeah. Holds lots of
kidding.
liquid.
That thing's huge.
This is from when I worked at Silver City. I had the lathe turner made me a lid so I don't get leather dust down in it.
Good idea.
Alright, so while he has the basting tape on the zipper pocket, I'm going to move over to the front side of the bag, or what will be the front panel over here. And I'm going to mark for the cell phone pocket, and then there is a little keyring holder. So cell phone pocket, we're going to go 1.5 inches over and 3.5 down.
Extremely busy, says Jeff. Larry says, watching the snow come down in St. Paul,
St. Paul,
That sounds
where's
nice.
Minnesota.
that? Minnesota.
Striker's been designing a weekender bag with a drawstring backpack.
Ooh.
I think we have the one that Anderson did right up there. Is it up there?
Weekender?
No.
No, the
I thought we gave it away.
The drawstring bag?
Yeah,
I have
thought
no
we gave
idea.
it away in the 5-hour live show. It has a little flap on it. And
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
It's-
Don't know what I have.
It's made like a, I would call it like a gym backpack.
Ah,
Like the ones that everywhere gives away.
the track bags. What was it called?
Track bags.
Track
Yeah.
Track sack.
Track sack.
Track sack.
Alright, and then the only other thing is going to be that keyring. So here's the keyring that we had, or the trigger swivel we got. Is this the tab you cut for it?
Yes. Which we need holes.
And then the pattern calls for a leather washer to be cut.
Hey, don't let Clayton push you off the table. Just go right over there in that camera. There you go.
Yeah, the pattern calls for a leather washer to be cut, but honestly, since we have this front embellishment, we could just rivet through to the, right underneath this fringe. Just put a rivet right through there. That would probably be more stable than, with the pattern, you're riveting only through this fabric liner, so it calls to put a leather washer on the back of this liner here. I'm thinking.
Is it supposed to just go like that on the inside?
Well, I mean, not just like that. There is a measurement. Now let's be precise here.
They'll just be putting it all in there willy-nilly.
2 inches down and 1.5 inches. 2 inches from the side and 1.5 inches from the end. So let's go
Oh,
2
man.
inches over and 1.5 inches down.
I'm trying to find the drawstring bag so I can show you. But,
We're gonna
I
go
thought
right
you guys were
there.
supposed to take pictures of it.
well, it did get pictures taken of it. It just never made it back to you. Oh, it might have made it back to you and you lost it.
Me?
That's what I'm
We'll blame it
Little
on
Fear
Clayton.
said, Clayton, that he was watching a leather YouTuber and he has a leather lid that he puts on his coffee, but he didn't put it on it and he was using his glue pot and then stuck his glue brush right into his coffee.
That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
We have a nice rivet size punch in here.
There should be an 1/8 inch hole punch. Oh, here it is.
It's probably too big.
Okay, well that would
What's
be, that's an 8.
I think
That's a small
I think
one,
it calls for 8, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll work.
That's good because that's as small as we got.
We're not to that point yet, though. It's the next page, isn't it?
I don't know, diagram 49.
1/8 inch hole.
1/8 inch hole punch. Marking the fabric only. But again, since we're doing this embellishment on the front, we're going to go through the fabric and the
That was almost a mess.
main body piece. So we can rivet all the way through and it won't be seen underneath.
It's got those special
Everything.
lids on it.
Mallet?
Mallet?
Scalpel.
Scalpel? There's one on the table.
Oh, it's underneath my instructions.
It's a real cute black drawstring bag with gray cord.
I'll tell you what, since we're going to go ahead and stitch these down, these leather pockets onto the fabric liner, I'm going to wait to rip that on there.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch all of this.
So I'm going to try to only peel this back as far as I need to access the pockets and stitch them. It's easier to just pull them all the way off. I don't know, we're going to figure it out. So it would be difficult to realign it at that point.
Hold on, I'm trying to stitch over there and I need to switch a camera.
I can look for it because I know what it looks like.
Well, he's stitching. Well, I don't think it's back here.
Anderson can offer commentary,
Yeah.
narrate the stitching process.
I'm trying to get on top of the safe over there to see if it's on top of there, but I can't see it because there's a bunch of cognac alligator tails on it. Okay, go out like this. Now that you got that out of the way, I got it this way. Come on now. Uh-oh.
There's a big behind.
I'm thinking that it got taken back over to your area or the retail floor.
Well, I still have the pattern, so that's good.
Hey, Holly,
Yep.
or Nick, will you run the cameras for a second?
Oh.
A
Yeah, you have to.
Do you need me to hold something? Or no, the Bontex won't go through there, will it?
It will just barely.
By the time you get over there, it'll be back. Here. All is good, all is well.
Just a lot of material to deal with here.
You're almost sewing through the underneath there.
Almost wriggling it up. And
So that fringe.
You can do it.
almost doesn't count here.
So a good tip of advice is if you're doing this kind of stuff, just go slow. Take your time, things like that.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend.
Yeah.
Bring a friend, take your time, and learn.
Yeah. Maybe give Andy a call. You know,
Yeah.
You get really frustrated. You need to take it out. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and finish these threads off from the back, and then we're going to stick down this side, and then we'll go ahead and stitch on the other side. Just carefully without burning our fabric. Alright, let's lay it back down flat over here real quick. Goodness gracious. Andy, think you can get that laid down?
One way to find it.
So yeah, you'll want to stick this other side back down You know, I'd mentioned maybe trying to peel it all off and just doing the pockets. But honestly, it'd be really hard to get this whole piece laid down back in the same spot. So we'll leave one side attached at a time. Hopefully that'll make it easier to realign. What were you looking for? The bag? Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm on a mission now.
Things kind of disappear around here.
Do we want to go ahead and Super 33 all this, or just leave the
Super 77
or Super 77?
No, I think we just leave it taped.
Just leave it taped.
I think so. So go ahead and just stick the rest of those edges down. We're going to sew this other side of the zipper pocket. And after we get that stitch down, we put our little hanger in. We're going to trim the fabric around the center divider, and we're going to bind around it with some leather. So we'll need to actually cut those binding strips still. So you've got a few strips here.
I tried, that's why I was a little late.
I see.
Tried to get a few.
So we'll need to get those split down still, huh? So while I'm sewing that, you can get those split down.
Persistence, what do they say about it, Clayton?
It's key?
Persistence pays off.
Persistence pays off. Sure, okay. There it is. Wow, big payoff here. We found Andy's drawstring bag.
No, I don't think it says how much leather did you cut out square foot for this.
He's intrigued by the drawstring bag right now.
Okay, so if you're doing this out of a single leather, so if you're going to do like your interior features as well as your exterior, just bare minimum with the pattern, I'm probably going to suggest between 8 and 10 square feet, maybe 12 depending, because you do have a couple long straps to cut. You can probably get away with as little as 7 or 8. Okay, cool. I got the bag now, Tony. Do you want me to do something with it?
Yeah, lay it on the table and show it off for just a second.
Okay. Look at this, guys.
Lay it on your project in the frame.
Well, I thought you were going to do the front camera. Jeez.
Was there some key to the amount of holes that you put in there? Was it like an even number?
Yes. And this is out of some black vegetable lamb.
There you go.
Nice.
I don't remember who was doing it. Oh, Stryker was doing it. So there you go, Stryker. Alright, go ahead and take notes.
Okay, all right. Got what you wanted, huh?
Yep.
All right, you want to get these split down?
How many of these did we need?
3.
3? Okay.
So let's go to about 2 ounce.
2 ounce.
Or even 1.5 ounces if you can do it. Head back over to the sewing machine and stitch this pocket.
Michael said, in the hour I've been watching this, I've gotten 26 stitches sewn.
Nice.
Daniel said, I try find watching anything in stitches unhelpful.
I like sewing machines.
You like sewing machines?
I like sewing machines.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Hand stitching.
Yeah.
Hand stitching looks really nice. It is really cool on a lot of projects. Sewing machines are just make me impatient. Might actually go one more stitch there.
Ollie said you're quiet today too. I think it's because I came in a little bit later. I've been busy this morning. I haven't been crazy.
Well,
We didn't have
I've
the
also
music
been really
cranked.
busy too.
Didn't have the music cranked up.
Yeah, today was a bit of a quiet morning for us.
But it's Friday.
It's Friday! Woo-hoo. And we just had payday.
Oh, so it's gonna be a crazy Friday at Holly's.
Yeah, real crazy.
Party at Holly's.
Probably wear my slippers and go to bed early. Life as an adult.
We had a question here, Clayton. Why are the men making shopping bags? So that women can spend all the money?
So
That's
the
a good
ladies
point.
don't have to.
Right.
This is just one place that we can save money by making their shopping bag instead of letting them buy one.
That's funny. This would make
I'll
a
put a strip
great
one
gift
over here.
idea.
Yeah.
Fantastic gift.
I mean, it wouldn't even have to really be a shopping bag. You could do other things.
I'm gonna try a trick here.
You gonna stitch backwards?
If you had a small laptop, it could fit in there. Put it in a laptop bag.
I need my foot on the other side. That's not gonna work.
We've met Holly. Who's Holly? Have we met Holly? We have met Holly.
Indeed, should I go on camera for a moment?
Sure, you can go to the. I'll turn the picture-in-picture on. You can go to
You're gonna have to have courage wise.
So this one?
Yeah.
Oh. I have to get behind the table. Makes it look like I'm crafting.
Oh. Holly's
Hey, guys.
crafty.
Yeah, you may saw me on the live video yesterday.
Holly is a graphic designer here as well.
Uh-huh.
What are you working on today, Holly?
Today I'm working on a puppy pattern pack, so I'm doing the harness part of it. And I'm
So you
doing
got
some.
harness and we'll have a collar.
We'll have 2 collars, 2 harnesses, and 3 leads, and a bonus item that's a secret.
A secret bonus item.
Secret bonus item. It is dog related.
All of it sounds really bonus to me because I didn't know we were doing it.
Yep. We're about halfway, so it might not be a little. It'll take a minute.
Yeah. You can see Holly. Holly stood where Anderson's standing in the picture-in-picture. Then Joshua said, "Oh yeah, hey Holly." Oh hey, oh hey.
Oh, hi guys, how are you? Working on some cool stamps for Mr. Bob Bingham too. We do custom stamps here, so
Nice.
yeah.
This says 1 1/4 wide. Those are only 1.
Should
Yep.
I know I've been kind of missing the seams lately.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Because we are going to do something that the pattern, we are not going to do something that the pattern tells us to. I'll show you in just a minute.
You're an outlaw.
I
You don't
am.
stick to no rules.
You know what? Sometimes you're more comfortable doing something one way than the other. I know it will work still. Alright, so we got our pocket stitched down. Let's go ahead and stick this bad boy back down.
That's so weird being on the side of the table. All my tools are over here.
Alright, sorry, yeah. I didn't like it either. Let's switch.
Okay.
Got your fringe all cut up and your basting tape.
I know, this is a mess. I have to work with this piece a lot. Mess with this fringe quite a bit.
Wow. Basting tape do anything more than just holding it in place while you stitch around it?
Correct. Just holds it in place. Oh wow, it's all coming off. This is getting crazy. Alright. Luckily, this fabric liner doesn't have to be super precise on the edge. We need to make sure it's flat. And then lining it back up with this top edge is going to be very important. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. Alright, so now we need to stick in our keyring holder. We've got some copper rivets over here. What size do you think we need, Andy? Small?
I guess it's small.
You think you could do that on a class 4? Class 3, class 4?
Yeah, you could. You're going to struggle just a little bit depending on how thin your leather is, sewn through the fabric. Just have to do some tension adjustments a little bit.
Yeah, probably the smallest needle you could run in a 3. Can you run an 18 in a 3?
Do we carry an 18 for the 3?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Great shot of the back of your head.
Thank you. Alright, so let's stick post through that. Actually, I'm thinking we might need a medium there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, for how thick this is. So let's just open another package. Extra small, medium.
That's the medium copper double cap rivet.
Medium copper double cap rivets, 100 pack. Item number 374-313.
Wow, thanks, Blade.
Get it now. I'm learning.
Get it now before you can't get it anymore.
Before we open all of the packages.
On string. Hey, if you want some, we'll just stay for the later string while they repackage all of these copper rivets.
Smash it flat, Andy. All right, anybody want to buy a package of 99 medium copper rivets? Call now.
You got a heck of a special going on right now.
Just take one out and test it.
Yep, they work.
They work. There you go, there's your proof. All right, we'll deal with putting these up later. Okay. What's next, Andy? We're gonna sew across our rolled edge yet? No. We are going to trim the excess fabric on the sides of our center divider. So basically you're cutting down the edge of the center divider and then straight across to the outside. Sound good? So what the instructions actually tell you to do is fold your bag in half like this so that you can isolate that center divider. And you should be able to get at it with the blade just like that. See, with that stiffener in the bottom, it makes it kind of difficult. Good thinking, Andy. Alright, we'll finish that up with a pair of scissors.
Excuse me. Need a recording of Liz's laughter so I can just play it over the speakers. Get us a laugh track in here. She's probably laughing in Dallas.
I'm kind of surprised you guys don't have a little soundboard with like applause.
Sound effects?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't have any more room
Don't
on my
start.
desk.
Don't encourage
Yeah.
them.
Or if you mess up, you know, like, wah, wah, wah.
That's going to be your new job for the videos, Andy, just to hang in here and be the sound effects machine.
Hey, I did.
I mean, you did your wah wah wahs pretty good.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
Those are strips?
These are the short strips.
Okay. The 12-inch?
Yep.
Okay. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll just do some basting tape on these. That should be sufficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to line these up. We're going to bind the edges of the center divider. So the instructions ask for you to cut 1¼ wide strips, and basically it tells you to line it up 1/4 inch on one side, and then fold it over to where you bind the edge, and then stitch it, and then it will ask you to trim off the excess binding around it without cutting the fabric. I didn't really want to do that. I can do that, I've done it in the past, but it's just a lot easier to cut your binding strip to the final length that you want it. That way you don't have to do any trimming later on and risk cutting through the fabric. So we're going to lay down some wide basting tape on these. I'll use the 3/8. 1/4 inch is fine, whatever you got. It just needs to be something to be able to stick it down.
On both sides?
Yep.
Dean said he's gonna have to go back and review the video because he missed Holly being on there.
Aww.
Look away for a second, you missed the good part.
Sweet.
You just open a second tab and rewind.
There you go.
Those. And so the pattern does ask you to bind the edges or the sides of the center divider and then the top, and that way you've got the pieces overlapping from the top. So I think the way I'm going to go about this is I'm actually going to kind of lay the divider onto the binding strip itself, and that way I can use the 3/8 inch tape as kind of a guide for getting it on there straight and even.
Oh, every time Disney plays chicken or says chicken necks, then we can play a rooster noise.
Chicken necks.
Yes. That's funny.
Again, you just had to switch it up with a 1/4 inch tape. It's alright, we're gonna make this work. Quit sticking to my hands.
How long did it take you to cut out all of
To
the...
cut all the pieces? Well, I don't know, because me and Melissa actually cut it out as a team together, and then Andy helped a little bit this morning, and so I mean, to actually cut out your pattern pieces out of Bontex and trace it on the leather and then cut it all out of leather, probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. A couple hours if it's just you by yourself.
Maybe. Well, yeah, maybe not that long by yourself. Maybe an hour and a half.
Well, Fear says, still not even sure how this bag is going to look in the end.
You're taking a ride with us, bud. We're all in this together.
Clayton's never made it before, right?
Never made it before. So we're going to see. Alright, and then we're going to do the top of our divider. I'm going to kind of do the same thing where I lay the divider onto it so I know that it's straight. Which I know is kind of weird, but with this paisley print, it's really hard to see if you're keeping it straight, if you're laying it down with the strip on top. Just like that.
Dean, Andy was saying if you open the second tab, then you can reopen the video and then rewind it and see Holly. Unless you have to hand sew. They were thinking like 4 hours to do the whole thing, cutting it out and everything. Unless you have to hand sew.
If you're able to machine sew, if you've got a bell knife skiver, that helps a lot.
Let's see, we've done the last 3 of these bags on live. This is the last one we had left to do. The question was, do we have this as a PDF?
That's a question for you, Tony. Actually, it's quite
on the website. Well, does the divided shopper come by itself, or do you have to get it in the pack?
You have to get it in the pack, unfortunately.
That's what I thought.
Later down in the line, we might offer it in separates, but for the moment, it's in the pack.
Got our dividers bound and stitched on.
Did you mess up a corner, Clayton?
Did I mess up a corner? Oh, so the back of the foot started catching on it, and it actually wouldn't stop walking forward, so I had to lift up the foot and kind of step over it. No, I didn't mess up a corner.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Thanks for the explanation of what you had to do, though.
Yeah.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, thanks. I know. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying. Borrow the thread burner.
Stitch deleter.
Fabric liner. Fire starter.
All right.
I've definitely lined bags before, and I've gone to burn threads. Using something like moire cloth or something, like a nylon fabric, and just melt right through it.
That's always
Very
really
disappointing. So you figure out how to patch it or something. Okay, got that on there. What's next, Andy?
Marking your tabs,
Oh, nice.
which I just
Happy days.
marked it on your pattern there.
Good idea. Let's flip over to the finished side. So we're going to insert the tabs, which will involve peeling back the fabric liner once more. Hopefully the last time.
Or just doing it without. Whichever's easier.
Just doing it what?
Doing what? Doing it without
Yeah.
using a ruler.
So this is just going to mark the placement of the strap hanger tabs. Alright, you got those bad boys taped up? One. Ooh, it's going to be some leather to sew.
put the 26 to its test.
Nice and layered up.
What, like 4 layers?
Yeah.
3 layers and some fabric?
1, 2, 3,
4 layers and 2 layers of fabric.
4, 5 layers of leather technically, and some of it's bell knived. It's fabric. Fabric. There we go.
These are pretty malleable. That one's a little bent.
Bent it with your bare hands?
Yep.
And then I assume we're going to stitch across this rolled edge. Get our D-ring, our strap hangers sewn in.
Stitch across both ends. Yep.
Yes. Guessed it. See if I got those even enough.
So you've deleted all your coon hunting plans to do what now? Nothing?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, if it's actually going to snow, then I'm probably going to be playing out in the snow with my kids.
Nah.
You got a lot of trees out there. Does snow hit the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a lot of trees.
Yeah.
We do get some snow. We live on a dead-end gravel road, and right close to my house on this gravel road is a really steep hill that's pretty great for sledding down. As long as you don't go off on either side.
I've been by your house, Clayton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you weirdo.
Well, you asked me to.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, because for some weird reason you thought you wanted to live next to me.
Yeah. Neighbors were selling the house, so I figured I'd see if I could
At least get somebody that you could beat up.
mitigate it a little bit. Yeah. Have some control over who was going to move in.
Look, I don't really like Tony that much, but he's better than not knowing the person that could be there.
I want to make sure that I hate this person.
At least I'll know that I dislike them with a passion.
Right, the devil you know.
I have reasons that I dislike him. Other than just being my neighbor.
Alright, I'm going to try.
Josh, thanks for joining in. He always joins on his lunch break and he's like, man, I was hoping I could get to the end of it, but I'll have to watch it later. Here, I just put the pattern in there. It's one that you can purchase. It's only available in the 3-pack. The embellishments on the front, does it have that part of it? And then we added in the fringe, or?
No, so the actual pattern is kind of plain, I was going to say. We added in everything that's on the front of it, basically.
Okay. So the little scalloped edge, which I can tell you that Melissa used the large scalloped nose band, or bronc halter, I think is what we call it,
Yeah.
to get that wavy look for it.
She sure did. She likes to do that. Just easy.
Yeah.
Nice little scallop profile.
All right.
And he's gone. There goes our noisemaker. The one thing I did before starting this rolled edge, since it's so many layers of leather and so thick, I actually lengthened the stitch length on this machine, because typically whenever you sew thicker material, it's not going to walk quite as well. So your stitches will be shorter than they normally are with thinner material, especially if you're going to go up and over things like these strap hangers.
If they already own the pattern, is the only way to get the updates on this pattern is to buy another set?
No, there won't be any instructional changes. The only changes will be aesthetics.
Right.
Yeah, so no changes to the pattern itself. We're not going to add the front part that they did on it. If you watch this video, and then you can do that part of it.
Exactly. The update to your instructions is right here. Right now.
It's basically color changes and font changes.
Oh, wait. Can you buy the divided shopper by itself? Yeah, you can. 144-100 and then 40. 144-10040.
So if it's not displayed on the website, let us know. Let Tony know. Call him.
Yeah. Here's the, so there's just going to be updates to the pictures of it, and then some of the logos inside the pattern, but nothing to the pattern is going to be adjusted.
Nope, the pattern is all good.
Oh.
Looks like we're moving on to the gussets there, Andy.
Well, there's going to be an attempt to.
I think you might have the wrong strips. Sorry to tell you, bud.
Really?
Didn't want to be the one. I think they're going to be the skinnier. There you go. So it's going to be these. This is the part C gussets. Yep. So basically, what you have in your hand there is the part E, is the edging, and that's going to go over the gusset panels. Right now, we're going to attach part C, which looks like a 1-inch wide strip around the perimeter of the gusset. This thing is coming along. Look at that. Gives you an idea what it's going to look like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd carry it.
Thanks, Tony.
Do my shopping.
That means a lot more when I have your approval.
I love the gold.
Thread burner?
Thread burner.
I like how the thread burner's on a leash and we just throw it on the table.
Yep. Well, off camera while he was sewing, I fixed it and got rid of the safety tab on it.
Fix the thread
You
burner.
got rid of the safety.
Exactly, because that way you can have your children burn threads.
Yep.
Now go ahead. I'm going to get one taped. I'll start sticking it down and stitch it. So we're going to be adhering this. I think the pattern might call for an 1/8 inch line of contact cement. We've got 1/8 inch basting tape here, which should work just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this top rolled edge on part C, and we're going to stick it down, finish side to finish side, all the way around the perimeter and around these curves of part B, the gusset. Thank you, sir. And then we're going to sew that down. So you want to be careful if you are using contact cement to stay within that 1/8 inch line, and that way you don't have cement showing in your seam when you're done. Juicy pizza, this stuff will peel. Got it. There we go. So you notice one edge of this is rolled and sewn already. We're going to make sure that lines up with the top of this rolled and sewn edge on part B. Whoops.
Somebody's really concerned.
I know.
About the third text, Clayton.
Is it? It's probably Liz. Just seeing if I turn down my phone volume.
If it would have been her, she would have called and then hung up when you answered and then called right back.
This other one, I'm going to do the opposite, correct? Well, I guess it's going to be the same regardless by the time it's done. But
Correct. So yeah, it'll be the same. So this piece is purposely, the pattern has you purposely cut it longer than what's necessary to go around this gusset part. And this is another thing that's kind of strange. So since it is long, you're going to stick it all the way around like I'm doing here. And then we're going to trim it 1/4 inch. Or let's see, yeah, it'll be 1/4 inch above the top of the gusset, and then we're going to skive it, roll that edge, sew it, and then stick it back down right up here, and then sew it all the way around. Hopefully that made sense to everybody. If it didn't, just watch.
So Clayton, we were talking at dinner the other night.
I didn't go to dinner with you.
No, you didn't. You probably should. It was a great time.
Dang.
Yeah.
Invite.
Sorry. Oh, do we want to watch the Bell Knife skiving?
Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to do this. This is one.
Well, if you hold tight, I'll get it.
Oh gosh.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
It was just a second of it. Whoa!
No, we can plug this in. There we go.
We brought that in there for that.
Well, I gotta do the other one too. I told you.
I just struggle with two machines in here. Dancing around, I'm looking for a
Such a struggle.
drawstring bag.
Oh my gosh, your life is so hard, Tony.
Well, if you didn't lose it in the first place, you wouldn't have to look for it.
I placed it somewhere for safekeeping. Just turns out it was really safe. Got a new follow for Palm Far for
I need to
waxing.
forget where I frickin' put your name.
How long did you cut that?
So about a 1/4 inch over. So that way you can go over it. I skived it and then rolled it back over so it matches this side. We're gonna go to the sewing machine and we'll stitch this down, stick it back, and then we'll stitch around this perimeter here. For both, I'm gonna do about an eighth inch seam allowance. So Andy's gonna take care of rolling that one. I'll go ahead and start sewing. All my quick snips over here.
Should be some in the table there.
I keep carrying it back and forth. It's kind of habit of mine.
I don't remember what I was saying about dinner though.
I don't either, but I'm getting hungry.
That you were talking at dinner the other night.
Yeah, I talk everywhere, but
That's true. I should have been there or something. You wanted to ask me out.
I mean, we might have been wearing matching dresses.
Yeah.
What was it?
Gotta think of it. Probably be at 3 in the morning tomorrow though.
You guys, did you go out to lunch with people from work? Or?
Our ERP system is who we went out to dinner with.
Right.
What were we talking about when I said that?
I said, look back at the tape, man.
Open a second tab.
If you Windows left and Windows right, you can have both of them on the same screen.
Already got 3 monitors going.
Well, not everybody else might.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and
Airplane taking off?
I'm gonna go ahead and stitch down these gussets together, and so I'm gonna keep the little bit longer stitch length that I had set on the machine. If you go too short, these gussets, through the life of the bag, will actually, have some stress on it as the bag is opened and closed. So you don't want too short of a seal or stitch length because that'll perforate the leather and eventually tear apart. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. What time is it?
12:50.
Yeah, somebody just had to open the door and let all the smell in.
Oh no, my wife brought me food, so I went out and got it. So I'm eating it over here.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding me.
No, I wouldn't kid you, Clayton.
So rude. The company should cater in for us when we have to do these videos over lunch.
You're the one that's like, hey, let's just power through the whole video.
Just makes the second half of the day go quicker.
Now we're almost there. All we got left is the finish.
Getting ready to put the gussets on, put the binding on the gussets, attach the handles, and that's pretty much gonna be it. I'm gonna throw that other piece.
Which other piece?
The other gusset. Ah, there we are. Alright, so Andy went ahead and got our rivet holes punched in our strap. So for this portion, we're going to be attaching this gusset piece C to the actual main body of the back. Excuse me. So I'm going to go through and kind of train the leather a little bit and bend it out around this seam. And I am going to use contact cement for this step because I would really like it to stick well, right? And you can see how this is actually going to kind of sit in the bag. It'll sit in there pretty well. So it shouldn't have a lot of stress on it. Going around those corners when stitching, it's going to be the trickiest part.
I remembered what it was.
Oh boy.
So I think we're at like 39,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know, when you
Okay.
get to 100,000 subscriber, YouTube sends you some silver plaque with a YouTube logo on it.
Right.
But there's nothing for 50,000.
Oh.
Sometimes I get tired of waiting. What do you think, Clayton, that we design a leather one? So if we get to 50,000 subscribers, we make a leather
Heck yeah.
YouTube
Heck yeah.
gift.
Polly likes it.
Yeah, a plaque, a leather plaque of the YouTube play button. 50,000 subscribers. We only got what, 11,000 more to go.
Well, if this video doesn't get us there, I don't know what will.
We need to do more natural harness belt videos.
It's only a 2-hour long tutorial on an old pattern. No, that's pretty exciting.
You want to hand me the other glue?
Tell me, what do you want?
Oh, just absorbing just checking out these masters at work.
Absorbing the genius.
Absorbing the genius, yeah.
Did you bring us any food, Tommy? I know you got something in your pockets.
Actually, yeah, I brought you a big juicy steak.
With mashed potatoes and mac and cheese on the side.
And broccoli.
You got yourself a dinner roll too?
Mm-hmm.
You got a pouch full of dog treats?
Yeah, I have that as well.
Pouch of 2 dog treats?
Are you guys still using the Class 26?
Yes, sir. We are live on YouTube, so you can watch it be used there.
And Facebook. You'll see when we're done on there.
So it's a live video?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, so if you go back, if you hurry back to your desk, you could watch yourself talk.
How much stuff have you guys messed up yet?
Nothing yet, man.
Awesome. Way to go.
We just had to double check when you rethreaded the machine.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I don't know.
Perfect.
What does he think we're doing back here?
So we're using 138 in the Class 26 on the top, and the bobbin and the needle sizes, I have no idea because they're not using their little magnet thing.
Sitting out on there?
Negatory.
Well, we usually use the center one, so 138, so it's probably a 21.
Cool. It's not on there.
On the magnet on the face. There's a needle size guide to your right. Nope, that's your left. Right there.
138, so 20 to 22. So you think you got a 21? Well, where's the 21 where you can put your magnet on there like you do? Listen,
It probably fell off.
Might have fallen off.
if we're gonna lean this thing and keep it going, we gotta get it right.
We gotta stick with it. You are one to talk, sir.
You are one to talk. Where do you get off with that? Who do you think you are?
So we are sticking this gusset on, and then we are not stitching yet. We will be stitching after we put the binding on. So this is going to be a trick to keep it all together. Hopefully it cements fairly well. So these are going to be the binding strips. We're actually going to do what I've learned as a French rolled edge all the way around this thing. So same deal here. I'm going to go ahead and roll over one edge of this and stitch it. And then after it's applied, I guess we'll have to trim it back. Where'd our 1/4 inch basting tape go? We'll have to trim it back, skive it, roll it, and stitch it again. So, happy days.
That'd be cool if you did it on camera.
Well, I'm struggling here. Awesome. There's that one. And then we'll need to stitch across that. While this glue is nice and tacky, I'm going to go ahead and start sticking down this gusset. On gussets, I usually like to start right in the middle. Right? So we're going to center up our gusset piece with the center bottom of the bag. I'll let you guys see the back of my head for a second here. Let's see here. So this is kind of the moment of truth. If everything lines up, I hope it does.
Just get the leather stretcher out.
A little leather stretcher.
Get that guy a Snickers bar.
That's always a bad deal when you've put so much prep work into making a bag exterior or something, and you go to put a gusset on and it just doesn't fit.
We have comment this probably wouldn't be a very good bag for a beginner.
No, probably not a beginner pattern. Andy, you wanna stitch those?
Yep.
That would be awesome. And these are class 26 master.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yep.
Hold on, let me move a camera.
No. It's alright.
Alright. Got the back stitch in there.
See? I told you.
Wow.
Master.
It's a little unnecessary though, because it's going to stitch over it anyway.
See? A true master is never satisfied with his work.
Constant improvement.
Continuous improvement.
That's right.
And mutual respect for others. We're still working on that.
Are you still on the sewing machine?
Yeah.
What Clayton was talking about earlier when he did his rolled edge, there's a lip on the back, on the bottom of the center of the foot. And sometimes it will get caught on the edge of your leather when you're trying to go forward if you don't have it in the right spot.
Dean was thinking this probably could still be a good bag for a beginner shopper.
A beginner shopper.
Yeah, any level of shopper could use this bag.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is not only for the most elite advanced shoppers.
Beginner shoppers, middle of the road shoppers, experienced shoppers, pro shoppers.
Absolutely. The shop till you droppers. No,
Shop
doesn't matter.
till you droppers.
so happy days are gusset fits. Thank goodness. That would have been mildly put out if it did not.
You know, I wouldn't even go with a shopping bag. I think this would just make a good Western style purse.
Awesome. Okay, so now if you wanted to opt out of doing the binding on the edges, you could just stitch around the gusset at this point. We're going to go ahead and try to do the edge binding. And it can be a little bit difficult trying to get that on there stitched while keeping all of these layers lined up and stuck together. But you know what? Never scared us off before. Let's give it a shot. So again, we're going to line one edge of these with 1/8 inch basting tape. Put it over there, Andy.
Michael Seeger said the only shopper it's not good for is a window shopper.
Which side?
So opposite sides. So one side on one piece and one side on the other. And then I'm going to make sure that all of our layers are flush. That side looks good. Let's see.
So, little fear, to answer your question, do the staff have to buy their own SLC shirts? No. Unless you want more than what we give you.
True, you got the opportunity to buy more if you need
Or
more.
we have the winter wear stuff that's
That's optional, yeah.
an optional thing.
But it is at a reduced price.
Yep, they do pay for half of it.
It's nice for employees.
It is. Sweet.
Alright.
The pro shoppers would need 2 bags.
Oh my gosh, how do you feel this stuff? This 1/8 inch gets me every time.
You gotta keep them frustrated.
Okay, so this is how we're going to go about this. I'll tell you what, I am going to trim out the very edge piece of fringe here because we're not going to want that in there. Same thing on this side. Alright, so we're going to do finish side to finish side, and I'm going to lay it around the exterior all the way around. Just making sure that it's flush with the edge and the top. We use an 1/8 inch piece of basting tape. So we're going to sew at least 1/8 of an inch in. Probably going to go a little bit more to make sure I catch all my layers. Thank you, sir.
You didn't trim those sides.
I didn't, did I? I was gonna get out of here. You make a bracelet or something?
One of those wrap bracelets. We should get a clicker bar for that. Those wrap 11 bracelets.
Which ones? The ones that taper? And then go through and then wrap?
Slots and wrap around.
I imagine we could probably make that happen.
Charles says, watch this whole time, and he ruins it by cutting off the hippie fringe.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and trim all this off now.
All the fringe, okay, never mind.
Kind of changed my mind on it. I'm sick of it.
Just a nice wine color for your edge there. That's all we want out of it.
I guess we need the tape on the other side.
I can start from either side. It really doesn't matter, I guess. I'll just start from this side.
that kind of
Are we
look.
missing a piece there or something?
Was that important?
I don't know. I hope not. Just fall out of the bag.
You know
Oh,
what you
no, that's what you just trimmed off.
Okay.
No, you trimmed that off earlier. That was off the gusset.
start working on the car and you end up with screws left over. You're like, well, I hope whatever that goes to is tight.
It's called weight reduction.
Yeah. No, piping the gusset might have been easier than binding it.
Yeah. Yeah. With these seams though, the piping would have been kind of weird. Usually you do piping if you're going to turn the bag inside out.
Oh, and no liner on the gusset.
No liner on the gusset. Come on.
Man, Larry, get out of here with that nonsense.
You line everything. I haven't said it before. Fabric is not my forte. I am much more comfortable working with leather than I am fabric. I'll do some fabric liners here and there, but yeah, it's just not my favorite.
Yeah.
Alright, got those pieces on there. We're going to go over here. Actually, we're going to pop on the bell knife for a second. Bell knife these binding edges, and then get those rolled back over so they match the other side.
I would show it, but I can't see it.
A lot of stuff in there right now.
Winding a bobbin over there.
Line and bobbin.
The old bobbin winder. That's how you know he's a pro. He knew you were probably getting ready to run out of your bobbin
That's right.
when you get ready to finish it up.
You could hear it, that last stitch that I did when I start going fast, you can hear it rattling around in there when it gets low.
Oh,
Pitch changes a little bit.
that was just my knees shaking.
Just my old knees.
I do have somewhere to go. I've got a camera up here to go do a store tour. But by the time we get done with this, it's gonna be time to go to the house.
With the girls.
Yeah, well, I do gotta get them at. That's right, I do have to go get them. Thanks for the reminder.
No problem.
Good job, Holly.
Wait, how do I know your schedule more than you do? That's how you know you've been friends too long.
We're just working in the same room.
That too.
Or I just leave at the same time every day. Uniboogie. Clayton, did you bring anything in here to hydrate with?
Still got a little bit of coffee left.
You've had a request to be hydrated. I'm over here drinking one.
Am I looking dehydrated?
Yeah.
How many? We have people still sticking with us?
We got 20 people on Twitch.
Hey, cool.
We have
Nice.
10 people on Facebook.
Hey, Facebook.
And we have 67 on YouTube.
Hi.
Nice. In it for the long haul. Good job, guys.
Gotta do all three.
All three
It's
of
gonna
them.
be an amazing bag.
So add those together if you want.
All right. We got a few stitches that need made here. You want to stitch them?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't want to mess up what you've been doing.
You didn't do it, Andy. Team effort, buddy.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay. I'll stitch across the top of this binding strip first. Wow. This thing does not have it. A nice little home for birds back there.
What you working on down there, Clayton?
Sorry guys, so I started to sew the top of this gusset and it kind of caught up in bird's nest a little bit, so I'm going to cut it out. We're going to try and do that again. Deepest apologies.
Sincerest.
Okay. That too. Where you going there, Nick?
Could be my fault.
Nick's just crawling across the floor, like army crawling.
Let me out of here!
A question on the rhino thread.
Andy?
The rainbow color has two pictures, one dark and one light. How do I make sure I get the lighter colored one? The darker one is the one, 1.1 millimeter, and the lighter color is a 0.08.
That sounds right.
I know, that's why I said it.
Gee.
Good job, Andy.
Tony needs confirmation from no one.
I'm going to the website to look. It would help out if the pictures changed, but they didn't.
Coming down to it, guys. We're almost there.
In the home stretch, 3 hours later. Still got live shopping quotes to put in.
Okay. So here, it's probably the risky part. We're going to go ahead and stitch all this together.
So you're into your gussets, is that what you were tacking down?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. I went ahead and rolled the edges of those gussets so they match the other parts. Now we're actually going to be sewing all these gusset pieces and the main body and the edging all together.
Main buddy.
All together now. Hopefully nothing shifts and falls off or comes apart or does anything crazy. Everybody hold your breath.
How would the thread that we're using compare to Tex 70?
I've got a chart at my desk.
It's a different size. You can look it up, thread size chart, I think.
1/3, yeah, I think on the, wherever you get the text, it's 138 is what we're using.
Yeah, I've got a conversion chart at my desk. For some reason I want to say it's close to 69. I mean, not just because the numbers are close, but should be able to find that pretty easily on the internet.
I think there's 3 standards, but I can't remember what the third one is.
A lot of good that'll do you then.
Yep.
Just get the needle right through my thumb. There. You know, I'm glad Melissa had the forethought to not put any of those rivets too close to the edge of the bag there. So it was smart on her part. Otherwise, my presser foot probably would have had a little interference there. I think that side went well. All the way around the inside, looks pretty even. So let's try the other one.
Holly Charles asked if you're supposed to help do quotes since you did the live shopping with me.
That's a funny joke.
Striker says 138 thread is text 135.
Yeah. All right.
That's the keyword. I just know.
From the vendor, the darker rhino only comes in the 1 millimeter. It's a crying shame. Any of you guys watch Cobra Kai?
Say that I have.
Probably wanna.
I don't think any of us are old enough to enjoy it as much as you.
Not old enough. I mean, the first Karate Kid came out like 84.
That's older than.
You were a glimmer in your parents' eye.
Yeah.
Holly, the girl voice that was yelling loudly in the background was Holly. Unless it was like this, then it's me.
Do your best impression of me.
That was it.
Oh. Funny.
Let's see. John, I will make a copy of that text chart and do the conversions to the other, and we'll share it on the education tab on our website. Does anyone recommend the flat top accessory for the class 3 and 4 sewing machine?
I don't have a lot of experience with it, to be honest, because we have flatbed machines here. I don't have to brag or anything.
Wow,
I know. But we just haven't had an opportunity to use it very much. I really should.
Yeah.
Andy, you have any experience with it?
You mean the table? The flat top? Is that what you mean?
I'm guessing they mean the different, like, plates that come with it. There's a flat top one, right? Or unless they're just referring to the work platform.
Maybe the work platform, if you're doing any flat stuff.
That's very handy. Yeah,
Very.
Definitely recommend getting the work platform.
So you don't have to have 3 arms to hold stuff up.
Right. All right, so last step on the main body of the bag here. We are going to fold this around, and it's going to come around to the back, and we're going to do another stitch right up next to it. So I'm actually going to use contact adhesive or contact cement for this step as well, instead of basting tape. And I feel like that's just going to help it hold a little bit better than it would otherwise. And so you're going to do a fair bit on this. And you got much experience doing these types of rolled edges?
Just the one we did on the Suburban.
Yeah. It's got one as well, huh?
Yep.
Well, the guy that used to work here and design this pattern sure liked to do these. He always called them French rolled edges. I don't know if anybody else has a different name for them or knows them by something different. Whoops. I was thinking, we've got this red fringe. What?
Did it hurt
What?
when you were thinking?
Oh, when I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All the pity.
You know, I'm a dad too, but I can turn it off every once in a while.
Oh, no, don't worry, I can't. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, totally lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you go back to thinking. See if you can
Try to
get
think
back a
again
hold of it.
and warm back up. Oh, I was gonna say we use this red Venetian for the fringe on the front.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna do maybe another handle wrap, something that would just wrap around the handles and maybe keep them together if you wanted to keep them together. Just add another little pop of color at the top.
Just a little pop of color. What you got there? Oh, just a little pop of color.
You want to I guess yeah, I got a scrap piece here. Do you want to cut one of those out? So it'll just be something to wrap around these two handles and keep it together. Maybe snap it. Snap it on there. Make it snappy.
Make it snappy. That's funny.
Thanks, Ollie.
Bend and snap. Nobody knows that movie either. All right.
What'd you say?
The bend and snap.
No.
Speaking of charts, that pamphlet that came with my last order, the leather guide and the leather thickness conversion chart is gold. Yep, you should be able to make this pretty easy on the Industrial HD Juki Awesome Sauce. That dang old friend is getting away. You better just cut it all off.
Yeah, my
No, friend, you reminded me of Boomhauer from King.
Oh, that back!
dang old fringe.
Imagine getting named Boomhauer. Sorry if there's any Boomhauers out there.
John, to answer your earlier question, 40.
What was Boomhauer's first name?
Isn't it just Boomhauer something? I didn't think that was his.
I thought it was his last name.
Was it? That makes more sense to me.
Hill, Boomhauer, Gribble, and Frank. Not Frank. Not Frank.
Dang Bobby.
Bill.
Bill, that's
Bill Dauterive.
Bill.
Build a tree. Angela got the movie. So did Low Fear.
Hey, that's looking pretty good. Popped right back in. I see it. So cute.
What?
I was looking at their bag.
Oh.
You know, the one we're filming.
Trying to stay on topic. No big deal.
Dale Gribble.
Dale
Dale Gribble.
He's the bug guy. He's a conspiracy theorist, and he thinks the government's out to kill him.
Are we talking about a movie?
No, we're talking about King of the Hill. You ever seen that?
Oh my gosh.
I have seen it, but not in a long time.
I was wondering what Boomhauer's first name is. It's something I need to know, guys.
Troublesome Travis. Rubber banding the fringe might help keep it out of the way.
That's a good idea. Harley, get a hair tie.
I don't have a hair tie. It's in my hair.
Or binder clips.
I gave my last rubber band in Chad, and it's all the way in Dallas now. Sorry.
Well, gone.
How fancy do you want this thing? Rolled edges and everything?
Blow me away.
Wow.
You've got a few minutes here.
You don't know me!
That's my purse. I don't know.
Jeff Boomhauer.
Jeff?
Jeff Boomhauer. That's his
Really?
first
I
name.
didn't Google it. That's what chats are saying.
Oh, okay.
Actually, they said shame on Tony.
Yeah.
Shame on Tony for what?
You get the most simple Hank Hill reference.
Oh.
The contact cement that we're using is not water-based.
Absolutely not. I got my face right in it. I can tell you for sure it is not water-based.
It says, I'm just waiting for the fringe to get cemented to this thing.
I've got a little bit on there, all right? A hair tie was a really good idea. It's a little bit late for that. If someone would have mentioned that, like, I don't know, 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago? Angela, where were you 2
There it
hours ago?
is.
There it is.
It happened, guys.
Nah.
Oh my goodness.
No, Clayton.
It's all right.
Well,
He's got it. He's got it. It's all good.
It's
Oh, you still
okay.
have some on the other side, though.
Oh, he's definitely got it.
You're.
I got it caught on there. All right, so I'm going to start rolling this up. And all the way around. You like that?
Well, it's better that your fringe is out of your glue.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel better too.
Terry Beeson checking in.
Hi, Terry. I feel like we haven't heard from him in a long time.
Well, he
He's
hadn't
sick.
He hadn't been feeling. That's why I went and took the leather by his house. He's like, "Hey, the dogs will bark. The dogs will bark. They're my doorbell." And so I dropped the leather off, and I didn't hear no dogs barking or nothing. He's like, "Are you sure you came to the right house?" And I was like, "Check the front porch."
I don't know.
He's like, "Wow, you're stuffy."
That's funny. Well, Terry, we hope you're feeling better.
Yep. What are you doing over there, Anderson?
I'm just
Piddling?
pedaling.
I have another one. Another one.
Not that I need it. I never use it anyway.
Another one somewhere. I'm
Is that your Oculus?
saving them.
Cool.
Yeah, these guys doing this long video. I had plans to play the Oculus. I had.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, you ever gonna open it up and do some boxing and some Beat Saber in here?
Woo!
But
Wait,
Yeah, you can get it on-
Twitch?
now that we're
You can get on any web browser on the Oculus, can't you?
well, I mean, it has its web browser.
It has its own web browser. Say, I mean, you get on our EMS system or
I have.
do your work, get on NetSuite, and yeah.
Nice work, Andy.
I have
extra.
done that before, Clayton.
I'm impressed.
I sent pictures to Liz one time, and she's like, "Hey, are you putting in?" It was live shopping orders, and I was
Really?
like, "Yeah, I am." And so I sent her a picture of it in the Quest, and she's like,
Working virtually, yeah.
Are you on to the other side now?
On to the other side.
Whoa.
We're so close, guys. So close. So there's one step on this after I'm done stitching it, and that the instructions actually ask you to trim the binding, right? Trim the binding on the inside after you've stitched it without cutting through your other layers. We might skip that. We'll see what our stitch looks like and what it turns out on the inside. I don't know if it's going to be absolutely necessary.
What you saying, Moss?
That's risky though.
Andrea says, "Angela, at this point, I'm just watching man's brain work." Take your time. We don't mind. That contact cement has no setup time.
What's that?
You didn't hair dryer, did it? Did you?
No, I didn't. It took me long enough gluing both sides that once I came back around to the first side I had started on, the contact cement was tacky enough to go ahead and start sticking it down.
There just may have been a bag flipped in there that got missed.
A little bit of extra material out of there.
What
Ellen
is it that
says,
you
voting for no trimming too.
So you just trimmed a little bit of that extra at the top so that way you can really fold it over?
Correct, yeah, there was a little bit extra sticking out there. I'm hoping I've got enough curling over the back side that I can hit it with this next stitch.
You're gonna stitch that? I don't think I've honestly seen a gusset like that in a long time.
It's been a minute, huh? Really takes you back.
Yeah.
These
Way
gussets,
back to
this
like
style.
a year ago when I first started.
It's been a long time I haven't seen one. A gusset just quite like that. A whole gusset like that. Haven't seen one like 6 months or so. It's been super long.
Real long. I know, I never...
Getting nostalgic for gussets now.
You what?
You're getting all nostalgic for gussets.
Yeah, I am.
It's great.
But I do remember when I was younger, my parents told me that time flies, you know, the older you get, and I really regret not, like, doing more stuff when I was younger, because I have no time now.
That's true.
So Joshua was saying, Clayton, he said He's trying to understand doing this edge like this. Could you just wrap it all the way around and sew it once?
About to sew it again. So this is what I have been taught as a French rolled edge is what they called it. So basically you lay it face to face like I did previously. We did our first stitch, apply adhesive and wrap it around the edge, and now I'm going to go back and stitch right next to it, just on the inside of this. Yeah, you can see how it turned out on this bag here at the top. On our Gryffindor bag.
Would you say that this bag is more an advanced pattern, or do you think this is something that a beginner could do?
This would probably be considered more of an advanced pattern, intermediate to advanced.
Okay, cool.
Yes, we were talking about, but this is for any level of shopper.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Beginner shopper, all the way through
advanced
expert, elite, pro shoppers.
The one who wear tennis shoes when they go.
Yeah, Michael though did bring up a good point and said, not for window shoppers though.
No. This is for lugging stuff around.
Lugging stuff around. Full shop lug.
Alright, so we don't need to use a roller guide on this one. We're just going to let the foot walk right along the edge of this, the first roll that we did. Hopefully we catch on the back.
That wouldn't be
So
such
that's
a
going to be kind of
problem.
weird with the fringe. If that lays right.
Yeah, Teresa, that was what I was saying. It looks more like a purse than like a, I guess, I was assuming shopper would just be like you're putting your items in it. But I guess you could put your stuff that you're going to be purchasing in it.
Yeah, true, you could.
I think that's called theft. Unless you, I mean,
Well,
I was thinking like a shopper bag, you know, like you take your
that
bag.
looks a lot like a purse and just start putting things in it, you might get noticed. I don't know.
maybe, depends on where
I was thinking like a shopper, like a divided shopper bag would be, you know, when you take bags into Aldi or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it Aldi or Aldi?
it's Aldi.
I guess it depends on if you're in the U.S. or
Somewhere else.
not in the U.S.
The U.S. or not the U.S.
Or what part of the U.S.?
Yeah.
Right? Coke or soda?
It's pop or soda.
No, but Coke.
Really? People say Coke or
Well,
any?
yeah,
any
Coke is just any fizzy drink.
Especially from Texas. I had a friend that was from Texas and he moved up here and he's like, we drove through somewhere and he's like, yeah, I'll get this, and a Coke. And they didn't ask him what kind of Coke it
They
was.
just gave him
He's like,
Coca-Cola.
I wanted Sprite. And I was like, well, you said you wanted Coke. He's like, well, that's right. Yeah, I
I wanted a soda.
Yeah, the Coke I wanted was a Sprite.
That's funny.
It's time for Holly to pay Wackatoni.
Wackatoni. Schmack!
So if we had one of these to shop SLC, you'll never know what's missing. You are correct. Liz, where's Liz? Liz was with us earlier, but she is at the WISA show in Dallas. They zoomed in, but it was kind of hard.
Maybe we can do it for the. Are you pushing after this?
We'll have to do something.
Yeah. Grade somewhere.
Larry says I bring a lot of money when I come to SLC, and I leave with no money and a lot of stuff.
Well, at least you get stuff in exchange.
Your paycheck turns into my paycheck.
Yeah, we have
Thank you for sharing, Larry.
We have our imaginary employee paycheck exchange. You know, you just exchange your paycheck for leather.
So So what do you say, pop? What do you guys say, pop or soda or Coke?
I say soda.
Soda.
Soda. Andy?
Used to be pop when I was a kid, but now it's soda.
What about soda pop?
Do you say soda pop? You
No.
put them both together. What do you say?
Soda.
Soda?
That's what I'm acting like an old man, I guess. Soda pop.
Sody pop.
Marcus, who is German, we were talking about Aldi. He says 2.5 hours without a pee break. Poor lads.
I did drink like
Cold drink,
half of that.
Coke, pop,
Okay, we got a problem here.
Uh-oh.
soda,
Oh.
Coke, soft drink, soda.
What's the problem?
Well, as I suspected, I did miss a little bit right up there at that edge binding, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So since we ended up doing this front embellishment with the fringe, we added several extra layers. We've got the extra layer of this 2 to 3 ounce Venetian, and then also we layered another piece of about 2 to 3 ounce premium heavyweight chap. That made this a lot thicker up here, and so this 1.5 inch wide French rolled edge strip that we had cut didn't quite go as far on the back.
What's your solution? What would you say to anyone?
I would cut this inside strip at about 1.75 to 2 inches wide if you want to trim it. 1.75 should do it, but you can see I was right on the edge of it, man. I thought I had it, but the needle probably deflected this strip off just enough to where it didn't catch it, and so now that's not stitched down quite right. What I'll probably do after we're done here is I might pull these stitches and see if I can stretch this leather a little bit further and really glue it down well enough. Maybe hammer this corner a bit to get it to tighten up. This side I cut it at the top. Let's check this side. This side I got it at the top, it fell off a little bit, and then this side, yeah, just missed it at the top. So right there where it's a little bit thicker, it didn't quite get it. The rest of it was pretty good all the way around. It caught. I'm not going to make you guys suffer through watching that right now, though. We have been doing this long enough. That's like a after lunch, maybe next week kind of fix.
Or when you get to a fix.
Right.
Dean says, start over, we got time.
Start over.
The whole thing. Top to bottom. There's
Yeah.
a lot you could do with this pattern. You know, you guys put that cute little fringe on the front and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You got a nice blank canvas right there on the front you can do just about anything with. You can do a nice tooled panel or...
You can do an inlay even.
Absolutely. Just burn those down a bit to get them out of the way. I'll probably have to pull them later. Alright, fancy bag. Now we got our handles to rivet on here. What do you got going there, Anderson? What did you come up with?
Just experimenting.
Doing some experimenting?
Yeah.
Am I good to rivet on these handles?
Unless you want to sew this on or leave this off, or we can sew it on later if we're gonna sew it.
We can make it snap on later.
You haven't made everybody bored yet, Clayton.
Dang. I'll do what I
A
can.
sigh of relief.
Let's try harder next time.
I know. Alright, I think we're probably going to go with, let's see if a small fits in there. Is that what we need? Yep, small rivet's going to work great. So let's do a couple small rivets to hold this handle on.
This one is definitely going to need timestamps in it.
So what do you look for when you're picking out rivets?
Desirable finish and proper length. Are you talking about different styles of rivets, maybe?
Maybe.
Well, how much is enough poking through? How much of a double cap rivet do you want to have poking through?
Usually I'll shoot for about a 1/16 of an inch poking through. Really not very much, because especially with a leather like this that's softer and it's rolled over, so you got a few thicknesses going through, it's going to compress quite a bit. So if you just have a little bit of that rivet post sticking up, it'll compress the leather around it and set pretty well still. So that shouldn't be coming apart there. That'll be set pretty well.
Mash it flat.
Asher flat.
And
A fizzy drink, a zesty beverage.
Zesty beverage. Spicy water.
Allison calls it spicy. She doesn't drink a lot of it. It's spicy.
Well, Mr. Pibb is technically a spicy soda.
Oh, is
Spicy
it?
cherry. I think that's in the description of it.
Angela says, just eyeball 1/16 of an inch. Standard skill. Yeah.
Well, we have that new crafters shirt that we're getting ready to order, and we've done some posters for it, and it has something about precision eye guessing.
Yeah, precision eye guesses.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think everybody out there's gone to lunch and come back already.
Here we are, making a bag.
What are we getting for lunch, Andy?
I don't know.
Yeah, you guys have plenty of time to think about it. Or had. You're almost done.
Just keep working till 4 and leave an hour early.
All right,
We
guys.
will have time to restart.
What do you got for us, Andy? We got something to finish it off?
I don't know.
We'll stick a snap in it later.
Yeah, it was just kind of a little idea.
Thought was to get another piece of red on there to make the handle pop, right? So, what, are we going to go this way?
Yep.
Have that wrap around. There you go. Keep your handles together. What do you think?
Beautiful.
That's it? No
Go
big
ahead.
applause or anything? Thank you. Longest video ever.
This is where you need a soundboard. Applause.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
pretty close to that last episode of the duffel bag we did.
All right, you want an overhead shot?
Sure.
Let's check out that interior.
Looks good.
It looks really divided in there.
Look at that. You got your nice divider there.
Do you want to just slip it in a pocket or do you want to zip it up?
Yep, you got your nice pocket. You can stick your change in, what have yous. You got a nice little clasp here for your keys. And then your cell phone pocket.
So even though it's called a divided shopper, it's really just a purse.
I guess so, yeah, sure.
Or for your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Put
That's
your
a big bag
sunglasses
for
in.
your sunglasses for one whole
No,
sunglass.
the little interior pocket.
Oh. I was like, man.
This one right here.
Anderson walks around with those big old clown glasses on. Oh, this is the carrying case for my glasses.
Yep.
Awesome, guys. Well, any other questions? Anything else? We're good?
Dina's happy about the zipper. Good job, Clayton. See.
Thank you.
They can handle wrap. Cool beans.
Absolutely.
Cool beans. Good looking bag. Some applause. Andy don't talk much, does he?
No.
No.
He's getting warmed up. Yeah, I think another little touch of red on there would be good. Doesn't quite have enough of this Venetian red on the front.
We'll fix up the little binding part that we got messed up. We'll finish up the wrap on it. It'll go in the pile of.
Oh, you're probably going to give it away for free, aren't you? That's what happens to all my other pieces. That's
I
great.
hadn't thought about it. I was thinking about auctioning it off, but now that you said free, we might should do that. Clayton says he wants to give it away for free. Wow, just give it away to store.
Yeah, no, it's great. Hopefully somebody will enjoy
Holly,
it.
go put it on. Show it on the arm. What's it worth? What's it
A little
worth?
short for the camera.
Almost
Look
looks
at
black.
that.
That's pretty dark
Open it right
brown.
up. Put my hand inside it.
Oh, it is a dark brown. It's not black.
No, it's dark brown.
I'm in the room with it, and it looks dark. It looks black from here. Doesn't it?
Well, here, my sweatshirt is black.
The other.
You can't even see it, really.
Look at the overhead.
It's a dark brown.
It's a dark brown.
It's a mahogany.
Looks good, Clayton. Nice job.
All right.
Enough of this nonsense.
Good job, Andy.
Oh, don't forget to do. We could do. You remember? I don't know if you knew about this, Clayton. SLC yellow tape hashtag.
Yeah.
When people get packages in or they do projects and take picture with our SLC yellow tape, because our customers are like, oh, I can't wait for that yellow tape project to come in.
Nice.
It could be a giveaway for that, or if people get live shopping, hashtag SLC live shopping,
There you go.
it could be a giveaway from one of those as well.
Hey, man, whatever you want. You do what you will with it.
Once you fix it back up.
Once I fix it up, once I fix that binding, yeah. We'll get
Any
that.
parting words, Anderson?
There you go.
Thank you for that. All right, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you back next week.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for sticking it out.